now I would like to request Shri T. Chandrasekhar Garu, Additional Development Commissioner, MSME Development and Felicitation Officer, Government of India, Ministry of MSME Hyderabad, to address the gathering. Please put your hands.
I'd like to welcome all the board members of ITTC who contributed towards the implementation of International Trade and Technology Center, and also the managing committee of ALIP and startups who have made us proud, and a lot of our mentors who are here. It's a warm welcome to all of you and our well-wishers. It's a great opportunity to launch this project. Sir, we at ALIP believe in finding solutions for our own problems. You know, sir, that ALIP is 30 years old. We started with a very small beginning with only 5 entrepreneurs. And today we have 10,000 members and we have spread all over India. And many of our entrepreneurs could make it in. We got a wonderful support from our state government, particularly J.S. Ranjan Garu, sir. I'm not praising him. He is there on WhatsApp every time, whatever problem we get. I keep talking to him and I resolve those issues. This is the commitment which is shown from Telangana government. In fact, there are various issues which were addressed. I still remember the days when we never had power. We used to have so much problem with getting power. So when you came into, power was never an issue. For entrepreneurs, this is like, the destination, wherever we are. In fact, we have entrepreneurs in Orissa, and also recently from Orissa also they shifted to Hyderabad because they thought, enterprising grows in environment, enabling environment. Many startups are growing big and they are looking forward to accelerating in their business. Sir, this wouldn't have happened with the vision you had.
ASIC Chairman Gathering, Balamallu Garu, Shekhar Garu, Dr. Jyoti Garu, Narasimha Garu, Shivshankar Garu, all the dignitaries gathered here, to all my friends from the media. Firstly, I congratulate ALIP on a great trajectory over the last several decades. I think the story of how women entrepreneurship in Hyderabad, in Andhra Pradesh, erstwhile Andhra Pradesh, now Telangana, has unfolded is something that you can certainly attribute a significant part of that to Rama Devi Garu and her team. My compliments to the entire team of ALIP to commemorate a new occasion to lay the foundation for the Women Entrepreneurs International Technology and Trade Center. Delighted that more and more such initiatives which will bring inclusivity, which will ensure that more and more entrepreneurs who are hesitant, like Rama Devi Garu said, will become part of the process of becoming an entrepreneur. I don't think there has ever been a better time in India. You have a situation now, governments across the country, be it state, understand, acknowledge the role of entrepreneurs. Not only do they acknowledge, but they actually enable, give you an impetus, give you support to create enterprises, to create wealth, to create jobs. Because I think world over, not just in India, not just in Telangana, but world over, the biggest challenge for any leader, be it a chief minister, or a prime minister, or a governor, or a president, irrespective of what title you hold, biggest challenge today in employment creation is to ensure that the youth, the most important resource for any nation, the human capital, is leveraged to the hilt. The most important challenge that any nation, especially a growing one like India, can have is to ensure that the energies that can be unleashed, the power of the youth, channelized in the right direction. Now, that is something I think can only happen. Private sector working together with the government. The government alone can only do so much. Government alone can only absorb so much. If you look at any developed country in the world, you would see that the private sector, in fact, thriving, doing rather well, contributing to the nation, contributing to the world at large, coming out with new ideas, really pushing boundaries, starting the uncharted. The story of entrepreneurship is something you're only limited by imagination, especially in a country like India. If you more than 50% of India today is less than the age of 27. India's median age is 27. We're a very young country. In fact, 65% of India is less than the age of 35. This includes both men and women. But this is possibly the youngest country on the planet. This is possibly the biggest resource we have at our disposal. Of course, we have abundant water, abundant land, we have abundant mineral resources, we have abundant other resources. The most important resource we have, of course, is human capital. Now, why do I say this? You look at a country like Japan. Japan hardly has 15% of mass that is actually useful for inhabitation, to live, to do something, to work, etc., etc. Japan, as most of you know, is one of the biggest sufferers after World War II. The only nuclear bomb that ever exploded on this planet was in Japan, 1940s, in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Now, a country which has got only 15% of utilizable land, a country which suffered nuclear attack, a country which is prone to earthquakes, severe earthquakes, a country which is prone to tsunamis, a country which has got a long coastline and very little natural resources, has today become a force to reckon with. It is the third largest economy after US and China. And it is only 1/10 or in fact 1/12 of our size in terms of population. So without natural resources, with all these obstacles, with everything stacked up against them, what did the Japanese have? The only thing they had was the human intellect and human capital. You can also look at Japan's neighbor, South Korea, Republic of Korea. Again, a fascinating story. More than 90% of the land mass in South Korea, again, is unutilizable. Again, everything stacked up against them. Very little natural resources. But today, if you go home, when you go home actually, all of you, please look around in your drawing room, please look around in your bedroom, please look around in your veranda, in your portico. You will see so many Korean and Japanese products. You'll see a Sony TV, you'll see a LG refrigerator, you'll possibly have a Hyundai, a car, or some other make. You'll probably have a Toyota or a Honda or you can go on. There's so many things that these two countries have created between these two. It's amazing to even think and contemplate. Because again, these are Asian countries, not very far from us. Again, culturally very, very similar to India. The kind of power that they have unleashed over the last few decades is something that's truly impressive and truly amazing. And each and every time I've been to these two countries, I've come back mixed bag of emotion. You feel sad for India, feel happy for them. You have to think, you have to contemplate as to why and where we kind of lost out. And not too far from us, by the way, across the Himalayas, on the other side, we have China, who's again become forced to reckon with. Now they're the second largest economy in the world. Right after the United States, they're the second largest economy. So three countries which are not very far from us, China, Japan, Korea, I can go on, Malaysia, Singapore. All these countries have outdone their potential, have come out with world-class innovations. Even a small country like Israel, again, not very far from us, have outdone themselves. Entrepreneurs of today, we cannot be content. Indians cannot be content. Chief executives of large corporations which have been founded by somebody else. We take a lot of pride, of course. Satya Nadella, we take a lot of pride. Pichai, we take a lot of pride. Shantanu Narayan, we take a lot of pride. We keep saying, see how Indians have made it so big. Keep taking a lot of pride each and every day. Hear about one more Indian CEO, Indra Nooyi and others, been born and raised here but have made the United States or the West their home. When they go there and achieve and accomplish something, we take a lot of pride. The question that we need to ask ourselves after we go home today, how many world-class Indian products are there across the boardrooms, drawing rooms and bedrooms, other parts of the world? Not a single one. Sorry to say this. If you take Tata Land Rover as an Indian product, then maybe yes, but otherwise it's an acquisition. Land Rover was acquired, Range Rover was acquired by Tata, so therefore Jaguar was acquired. So therefore, but otherwise, not a single Indian product, in spite of us being the most populous country in the world. ప్రపంచంలోనే అతిపెద్ద దేశం భారతదేశం. చెప్పాలంటే చాలా చెప్పొచ్చు. చేసాము. ప్రపంచానికి సున్నా అందించాం. నిజంగానే సున్నా అందించాం. మనం ఏం చేసాము? సౌత్ కొరియా నుంచి ఇన్ని ప్రొడక్ట్స్ వస్తుంటే, జపాన్ నుంచి అన్ని ప్రొడక్ట్స్ వస్తుంటే, మనం ఏమో చిన్న పనులు చేసి దానికే మురిసిపోయి ఇది చేసాము, అది చేసాము. Humble request to all of you, especially young women entrepreneurs here, who now have another opportunity, another fantastic, very soon. You'll have a platform to exhibit your products, you'll have opportunities to collaborate, market your products, opportunities to collaborate. I've heard the SAARC representative speak. We have some fantastic ecosystem and a lot of enablers here. Now, the question is, are we going to be content doing something in Telangana for Telangana? Are we going to be content doing something in India for India? Or are we going to come out with world-class products and push the boundaries and aim for the moon? Because time has come now for India to take its rightful position in the world. Unfortunately, whatever has happened over the last 75 years is not enough. We're still only a 3 trillion economy. Whereas China, which was the same size as us in 1987 in terms of an economy, has raced past us. Now they are 18 trillion economy. We're still a 3 trillion economy. We're almost 6 times bigger than us. My humble request to all the entrepreneurs is, like I said, there's been no better time in the history of independent India to be an entrepreneur. Earlier, there was a time, I'm sure, Ramadevi garu will relate. When she started her journey, I'm sure about 3 decades ago, 4 decades ago, 40 years industry annaru kada. 40 years in that Ramadevi garu journey start chesinappudu, I'm sure the obstacles were much higher. Entry barriers were much taller. Even now they are there. I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that being an entrepreneur in India is easy. But it's become easier than what it was a few decades ago. It's much more easier to network, much more easier to connect, much more easier to exhibit, much more easier to reach the world now because technology has enabled us. Governments understand that business is important. Governments understand that wealth creation, employment creation is important. My humble request to all the entrepreneurs in this room. Santoshi was showing off her tractor. He was saying, I would like to expand. I'd like to start a larger factory in 5 to 10 acres. Now, I think that should be the ambition. Wanting to do something larger, not just trying to push the boundary, do something for the world, expand your horizon, pushing the envelope. Don't be content being a women entrepreneur. Give men a run for their money. Give men a run for their money. Make them feel insignificant. Make them, feel that people keep saying, the women should make, women should, feel inferior or no less than a man. I think, in fact, women are more strong in whatever sense, except physically, I think. I think there are a lot of women who can beat me up here. That's a different story. But you're strong in every possible domain. You're stronger emotionally, in terms of balance, in terms of sense of what is right, what is wrong. So many things, so many attributes. My humble request is, Government of Telangana has already created 3 women entrepreneurs parks, including the one in Nandigama, and the one in Gajula Ramaram, the Delhi is created. We also have one more in Sultanpur. I think there's one more, Tubran Lomkotundi. All these are already available for you. You want me to create one more, like Ramadevi garu was asking. Unfortunately, Sultanpur, we've run out of land. I'm more than happy, Ramadevi garu. Meer indaka cheptunnaru, Mehboob Nagar lo panchestunnam memu. అక్కడ కూడా చాలా చక్కటి పని చేస్తున్నాము. అక్కడ కూడా చాలా మందిని ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ తయారు చేసే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నాం. విలేజ్ లెవెల్ ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ గురించి కూడా మీరు అక్కడ నాకు ఇచ్చిన షీట్ లో మాట్లాడారు. విలేజ్ లెవెల్ ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ టుడే, in fact, thanks to my previous governments, thanks to the people who worked before me, Telangana is one of those rare states, and Andhra Pradesh is one of those rare states where women self-help groups are extremely strongly organized. 1,000 కోట్ల రూపాయలు ఒక్క తెలంగాణలో నాకు తెలిసి సంవత్సరానికి 14-15 వేల కోట్ల రూపాయలు డిస్బర్స్ అవుతుంది విమెన్ సెల్ఫ్-హెల్ప్ గ్రూప్స్. బ్యాంక్ లింకేజ్ల రూపంలో 5 లక్షలు 10 లక్షలు మొత్తం అది మెప్మా ద్వారా, అదేవిధంగా సెర్క్ ద్వారా, సొసైటీ ఫర్ ఎలిమినేషన్ రూరల్ పావర్టీ ద్వారా ఈరోజు ఒక్క తెలంగాణలో 14-15 వేల కోట్ల రూపాయలు మహిళలకి డిస్బర్స్ అవుతా ఉన్నాయి. Zero interest on these. My humble request is, Hyderabad లేదా వరంగల్ ఈ 2 పట్టణాల్లో ఉన్న వాళ్ళే విమెన్ ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్స్ కాదు. బయట కూడా చాలా మంది ఉన్నారు, చాలా కేపబుల్ ఉన్నారు. రూరల్ ఏరియాస్లో కూడా మీరే అన్నారు ఇందాక, మహబూబ్ నగర్లో అక్కడ కొంతమంది లంబాడి అమ్మాయిలతో కూడా పనిచేస్తున్నాము, ఎస్టీ అమ్మాయిలతో పనిచేస్తున్నాము, చాలా చక్కగా పనిచేస్తున్నారని చెప్పారు. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే, తెలంగాణలో ఈ రోజు మీ కళ్ళ ముందు ఆంటర్‌ప్రెన్యూర్షిప్ is not just about technology. As Santoshi has shown, you can come out with manufacturing, and this is in fact a manufacturing park is what you were telling me just now. Our request ఏంటంటే మీ అందరితో తెలంగాణలో ఈరోజు మీ కళ్ళ ముందు 5 రకాల విప్లవాలు ఆవిష్కరించబడుతున్నాయి. కొత్త సస్య విప్లవం అంటే గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్. Any non-Telugu speakers have to translate. A new green revolution is actually unfolding in Telangana as we speak. When the state began its journey, we were procuring about 68 lakh metric tons of paddy. As of last year, we procured 2.5 crore metric tons of paddy, second only to Punjab. That is how Telangana has grown in terms of how agricultural expansion has happened. Also, that is green revolution. Also, Telangana has 46,000 lakes and tanks through a program called Mission Kakatiya. Ramadevi garu was talking about aqua, fish rearing, fish culture. My humble request to all of you, 46,000 lakes and tanks and new reservoirs that have been created have made Telangana today the #1 state in the country for inland fisheries. Blue revolution is what is unfolding in Telangana. And fish that I talk about, or even other freshwater food that can be cultivated in lakes and tanks, is something that you should look at very, very closely. We have a fantastic policy, food processing policy, that encourages you to do that. There are a variety of fishes that can be consumed in Telangana, in India. There is other variety that also can be grown here, raised here, reared here, the world outside, West, Europe, US, other parts of the world. The third revolution that's unfolding right in front of your eyes, it's actually pink revolution. Pink revolution is not that of my party or not that of my political party. That is also happening, and that is we are going to win back and come back again and talk to you guys in the same way. That is also going on. The revolution that's happening is also meat processing industry and how well that's shaping up. Meat processing is something that again is extremely important because as affluence grows, as wealth grows, what will happen is people start eating better, people start eating more. More food which is full of protein. As a result, today, Telangana's livestock, in fact, because of a sheep rearing program that we have taken up, has doubled. And with the second lot that is being allotted now, I think Telangana will become the number one state in India in terms of livestock, which again gives you ample room to go into the meat processing industry, which is called big revolution. The fourth revolution that's also unfolding here is white revolution, which is nothing but dairy. Now, dairy in Telangana, the Vijaya dairy, which is a government dairy, was actually in losses when we assumed office. Now today Vijaya Dairy gives us back 30 plus crores of dividend every year. They've turned around and there is ample capacity. My request again to all of you, I'll just give you one example as to how important white revolution is milk production. There's a company called Fonterra, it was earlier called New Zealand Dairy Board, the New Zealand company. This one single enterprise, one single company contributes to 8% of New Zealand's GDP industries, dairy industries. Now dairy, when I say it's not just milk, everything that comes with it. There's butter, there's cheese, there's chocolates, there's so many things that you can do. Dairy industry, and again, today India in fact imports a lot of these from outside, from abroad. This is another very, very important area. The fifth one I will tell you about is, today we import a lot of our edible oils. Vanta nune, దిగుమతి చేసుకుంటాం. తెలంగాణ ఈ రోజు ఒక కొత్త విప్లవానికి శ్రీకారం చుట్టింది. Yellow revolution, oil palm revolution. 20 లక్షల ఎకరాల్లో తెలంగాణలో ఇప్పుడు ఆయిల్ పామ్ పంట పండించాలని ఒక లక్ష్యంగా పెట్టుకున్నాం. అందులో ఇప్పుడు మొదటి సంవత్సరం 1,50,000 చేరుకుంటున్నాం. తప్పకుండా ఇది పెరుగుతుంది. ఎడిబుల్ ఆయిల్ బయట నుంచి ఎక్కడి నుంచో మలేషియా నుంచి, ఇండోనేషియా నుంచి దిగుమతి చేసుకునే దుస్థితి తప్పాలి. ఇండియాలోనే అది పెంచాలి. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ ఇండియాలో 41 కోట్ల ఎకరాల సాగు భూమి, ఇండియాలో 70,000 టీఎంసీల నీళ్లు, ఇన్ని పెట్టుకుని కూడా మనం బయట నుంచి తిండి తెచ్చుకోవడం, బయట నుంచి ఎక్కడి నుంచి ఏదో దిగుమతి చేసుకోవడం అంటే సిగ్గుచేటు. కాబట్టే మన ముఖ్యమంత్రి గారు ఈ 5 రంగాలు, గ్రీన్ రెవల్యూషన్, బ్లూ రెవల్యూషన్, పింక్ రెవల్యూషన్, వైట్ రెవల్యూషన్ అండ్ yellow రెవల్యూషన్, ఈ 5ంటికి తెలంగాణలో బీజం పడింది. అద్భుతంగా తెలంగాణ భారతదేశం మొత్తానికే ఒక ఆదర్శప్రాయమైన రాష్ట్రంగా ఈ 5 రకాల విప్లవాలతో ముందుకు పోతాం. ఇందులో మీకు అవకాశాలు చాలా ఉన్నాయి. ఇది నేను చెప్తున్నాను. మీరు ఏం కావాలంటే, ఏం చేయాలంటే కూడా ఈ 5 రంగాల్లో, అంటే ఎంతసేపు ఎంటర్ప్రైజ్ అంటే, ఆంటర్ప్రినర్షిప్ అంటే హైదరాబాద్, నందిగామ, సుల్తాన్పూర్ కాదు. మహబూబ్ నగర్ ఉంది, నల్గొండ ఉంది, హుజూర్ నగర్ ఉంది, సూర్యాపేట ఉంది. పోర్ట్ కి దగ్గర మనకు ల్యాండ్ లాక్డ్ స్టేట్. మనం పోర్ట్ వైపు పోర్ట్ యాక్టివిటీస్ కావాలంటే సూర్యాపేట జిల్లా మొత్తం ఉంది, నల్గొండ జిల్లా మొత్తం. మీరు గిరిజన ప్రాంతాల్లో పనిచేయాలనుకుంటే ములుగు ఉంది, ఆదిలాబాద్ ఉంది, ఆసిఫాబాద్ ఉంది, భద్రాద్రి కొత్తగూడెం ఉంది, ఇంకా చాలా జిల్లాలు ఉన్నాయి. అదేవిధంగా మీకు ఇంకా ఇతర ఎన్నో జిల్లాల్లో ఎన్నో కొత్త వనరులు ఉన్నాయి. నా రిక్వెస్ట్ ఏంటంటే మీ అందరితో కూడా చాలా, ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ రేపటి నుంచి మా ఫుడ్ కాంక్లేవ్ ప్రారంభం కాబోతుంది. తెలంగాణ ఇస్ రిచ్ ఇన్ వేరియస్ ఫుడ్స్. సోయా పండుతుంది ఆదిలాబాద్లో. ఈ మధ్యన ఆదిలాబాద్లో ఒక రైతు యాపిల్ పండించడం స్టార్ట్ చేశాడు. యాపిల్స్ విచ్ వి థింక్ ఆర్ ఎక్స్క్లూజివ్ రైట్ ఆఫ్ హిమాచల్, మన దగ్గర పండిస్తున్నారు ఆదిలాబాద్. మన దగ్గర ఫిగ్స్ పండిస్తున్నారు, ఖజూర్, అవి కూడా పండిస్తున్నారు. ఏమన్నా అంటే దయచేసి దట్స్ వై ఐ కీప్ సేయింగ్, యూర్ ఓన్లీ లిమిటెడ్ బై యువర్ ఇమాజినేషన్. వాట్ క్యాన్ బి డన్, వాట్ షుడ్ బి డన్, డోంట్ ఎయిమ్ స్మాల్. నేను ఎవరో చెప్పారు నాకు, మహిళల ఆంటర్ప్రినర్షిప్ అంటే పీపీ అన్నారు, పికిల్స్, పాపడ్స్ అండ్ ఏదో చెప్పారు దీప్తి. నేనేమంటున్నానంటే రాకెట్లు తయారు చేయడంలో కూడా మహిళలు రావాలి, అంతరిక్షంలో కూడా రావాలి, టెక్నాలజీలోకి రావాలి, ఫుడ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ లోకి రావాలి. అన్నింటిలోకి వస్తేనే, ఓన్లీ వెన్ యూ స్టార్ట్ పుషింగ్ దీస్ envelopes and pushing the right button, you will achieve the success that you deserve. My humble request, government will stand with you, government will enable what you want. You will have to step up, you will have to raise your game, you will have to start thinking big and start expanding your horizon. Don't be content in getting semi-support from Government of India, Government of Telangana. నేను చేసేదేదో కొంత మేము చేస్తాం, కానీ ప్రపంచవ్యాప్తంగా అద్భుతమైన పేరు సంపాదించే ప్రొడక్ట్స్ తయారు చేయాలి అంటే మాత్రం ప్యాషన్తో, అంబిషన్తో, అగ్రెషన్తో పనిచేస్తే తప్పకుండా మీరు అనుకున్నవన్నీ అవుతాయి. You can take Ramadevi Garu as an example. She is very tenacious. She doesn't take no for an answer. Ramadevi Garni no అని చెప్పడం కష్టం. Always persuade, always తప్పకుండా వారిని ఆదర్శంగా తీసుకున్నట్లయితే మీరు కూడా definitely will achieve a lot of success. She is always always with a smile on her face. She will ask you very politely, ఇది చేయండి. Madam,